What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, to the Week 9 Nffl Ceedeez Golden Penix presser. Big loss today, or this past week. We didn't do great. We lost, but even more than the loss, which was already probably apparent, it's going to happen anyways. JD's out for season. So there's my number 2 pick out for season, which is fun. CeeDee Lamb's been out for like half the season. Not really, but he's been out for a couple games. BTJ's been hurt the entire season with a quarterback who doesn't throw him the ball. The biggest drop-off in all of history when it comes to running backs was Kamara last year to Kamara this year, which is insane. I don't know what the fuck they're doing over there. Clearly just getting rid of anything and everything. There's just not a whole lot we can really be happy about. JD got 15.22. Goff got 19.36. Monty 10. Williams 6.8. Lamb 12. BTJ is 7. Pittman at 16. It's the only good part of my whole team. Kittle at 4.9, Q at 13.3, Lions at 14, Boswell at 6, and Cook at 6. Boswell at 10, Cook at 6. It's like 138 points. Not really gonna win you much. Not gonna be lowest scores. You're probably not gonna be paying out, more than what you have to. But I don't know. We still hold the record for the most zeros. So we got to make sure I think it's Ryan, Jackson, and Owen, I think, are the 3 or 4 of us down there at the bottom, at the top of that list with 4 or 5. So just need to see a couple more out of them. That'd be nice to see. Somebody get hurt, somebody have a 0, bad game, whatever it might be. A defense, a kicker, punter, something like that is probably the most likely. But I don't know. It doesn't take a whole lot to beat me this year. Let's see. Yeah, we got to put in... So Goff's in the starting lineup, of course, for this next week. And going forward, we're going to have either Penix or we're going to have, I think, Mariota in that second spot as our QB2. It's just nothing good at all. Gone through like 9 quarterbacks this year. It's fucking insane. Monty and Williams, Monty's like 22, 21 RB overall. Williams is like 6 or 7 or something like that. So, Williams was a big one. Monty was great-ish. He's doing what I'm asking him to do. I put so much draft capital into the wide receiver spots, knowing that, if I can get 4 or 5 of these guys to hit, which I think with Lamb, BTJ, Pittman, Q was a pickup off waivers. We had Juwan Jennings, who was a rock star last year with injuries this year. We just needed a couple people to pop off. We've had a couple of them pop in here and there, but not all of them at the same time, and it's just... I kind of thought we would have at least 3 guys we could kind of always go to. If one of them has a bad week, we'll always keep one on the bench, some bye week play. And then, worst comes to worst, we find a weakness in the lineup and we go try to, we get Monty in earlier in the season. Hypothetical, earlier in the season. We go ahead and throw out Monty and Quentin Williams, or if BTJ was anything this year, or Juwan Jennings or Pittman or whoever other than Lamb, I could have packaged together with Monty and gone out there and gotten something. I don't know. There was a couple quarterbacks that were a little sketchy there for a bit. I feel like I could have upgraded, but I don't know. I'm just too pessimistic when it comes to trading. I'm not going to trade just to trade. That sounds retarded. I'm not going to trade unless I think I'm going to win, which I feel like that's sound logic. Why would you trade if I don't think I'm going to win the trade? If it's a fair trade, then why would I help you out? Why would we trade in the first place? Other than if I like one guy and you like the other. But like, I mean, like Owen's trade. Owen's trade with Garvey, I believe. It was Bijan and Worthy and for JT. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't really feel like anybody won that. I feel like JT's 2 or 3 points off from Bijan every week. Like, I don't know. I told him to go with it because you'd rather have the number one guy, especially with his lineup, his record this year. Going into the postseason, you want the guys who can score the absolute most points in 1 week. And Bijan can score a shitload of points, but I think JT's got those 3 touchdowns, 150-yard, 5 catches for 25 yards type shit in him. He's done it a couple times this year, getting 30-something points. So, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. I like JT, but for what he gave up, I feel like it's really, really fair. I told him it was really, really fair. I told Owen it was extremely fair. I don't think anybody wins, but I would rather have one side over the other. But if I have JT, I'm not making that trade. There's no reason really for me to, other than, wide receiver spots. So if anything, it kind of really depends on how you look at it and how you value things. And apparently I value things very highly. I don't know. I don't want a big name. I'm not a brand loyalist. You know what I mean? So I don't give a shit if, like, Pittman is a no-namer. Not really a no-namer, but like, it's been 3 years since he's been a relevant fantasy player. And he comes out and pops off and he's like fucking 5th, 6th overall wide receiver this year. He's a hot commodity, and I tried to trade him to fucking half the league earlier this year, and they all told me he was a fucking shitter. I look at what they've done, what they have the ability to do, and how their team uses them. Like, there's a lot of people I really like. Like, I would love to trade Q. Like, I think I even made the trade offer earlier for Q for Keenan Allen. Like, I like the guy who's going to get more targets than the guy who's going to catch a touchdown. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care if he's got 10 touchdowns on the year. I kind of like the guy who's going to get 8 catches a game. I'd rather go with that guy. I don't know. Like, Alad McConkey's one of those weird ones. Like, they've just got a lot of mouths to feed in that offense, and there's 3 pretty solid wide receivers. So, I don't know. It gets weird. I'm rambling. I'm trying to make it to my minutes, but I don't know. Pretty boring one. Not a whole lot to think about. There's no way anybody made it in this video this long. I've been rambling about absolutely nothing, but I've given up on the season. So we're looking at week 14 and 15 right now. So come and get your CeeDee Lambs, come and get your Pittmans, come and get your Lions defenses, whatever you guys want. Come pick me apart. I'm just looking for week 14 and 15, guys. I could lose the next 4 or 5 weeks, not give a shit. Or 3 or 4 weeks, whatever it is. And as long as I'm set for the shit bowl, I'm okay. The teams in here are not particularly great. I don't really think Nick Garvey's going to lose it. I think if Ryan makes it down there and he doesn't make any big changes, I think he has a possibility of losing it. He scored pretty low this year. I know I have too. I've had injuries. He's had some injuries. I've had my number 1, my number 2 out for season. I don't even think I've made like terribly bad drafting decisions on the guys. So JD's always going to be, he's like a Lamar, even though Lamar hasn't been hurt a ton, even though he's hurt this year. But I don't know. I don't feel like he's going to be hurt every 3 days. I think there's no reason why he was in that game. Him being him, he's going to try to win everything. And they gave him opportunities to try to make a 30-point comeback in a game that they had no business being in. They just played like shit. Like, I don't know why you keep, like, we would have pulled Patty so quick. Like, middle of the 3rd quarter, what are you guys fucking doing? You're down 30 points. Like, it's Patrick Mahomes, Chiefs, we could make it up, but like, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like they're making a whole lot of good, smart decisions for their future over there. I don't know. But it's kind of how we're feeling. Feeling like the Commanders today. See you guys. Peace out.